Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another one of my Cube World tutorials. Following on from the video I put up, this is the second one. This is the video on dungeons. Some of you have been asking if I can kind of do some tutorial videos on missions and dungeons. I did cover them in my Let's Play, so if you haven't seen that then do go and check it out. But otherwise, yes, I'm going to do this in a slightly more conventional tutorial format. So this is the second video. This is the one on dungeons. So basically, dungeons are randomly generated around the game world. They're, unlike missions, they're not kind of denoted on the map with things like cross swords or anything. They're just kind of hidden around and you might stumble across them. Alternatively, what you can do, if you see in the game in the background, sometimes when you're in the town, you'll see that there's some of the town folk will have a little green icon above them. Basically means they've got some sort of something to tell you, and you go and speak to them, and this guy, for example, he said, do you know where this place is? And then he goes on to say, I've marked it on your map. So if we bring up the map, you can actually see that the place that he mentioned has now been marked, just with a name, no kind of icon, and then I can now sort of go there. I mean, obviously I could have gone there before, and I can still complete the complete the quest, but it's just that he's actually marked the location. Now, dungeons come in a variety of different forms. They will, for example, you might see dungeons can be castles, they can be catacombs, palaces, pyramids, ruins, temples, and dens. That's about it for now, I think. Most of the ones that I've actually come across so far have been temples, and I've come across a few castles, and I just came across, or this one here is a ruins, but I haven't seen. I imagine pyramids would be in the desert, palaces would be somewhere else, and things like that. They would be in respective areas, but that's kind of the types of dungeons that you're going to get. Now within dungeons there are kind of they randomly implement different things. So sometimes there are traps. There are like fire traps and spike traps. Some of them have got like levers and doors and gates that you need to kind of open and close. They all have dungeon bosses because obviously that's how you complete the quest. Most of them typically have a treasure chest. Sometimes there might be more, but typically there's always one at some point. Actually, you'll find that some of the time it's quite early on. You can almost kind of go into the beginning of the dungeon, open the chest and then get out. That's what I used to do in temples when I wasn't strong enough. I'd go in, get the loot and run away. Other things you'll find in dungeons, you'll find things like shelves and furnitures which have, they'll be stacked up with potions and bombs and stuff for you to collect. They've got vases that can be broken. And as for the bosses themselves, the format is pretty much the same as missions. You basically, you work your way through the dungeon, get to the end, defeat the boss, and then they drop loot that is kind of applicable to the class that they were. So again, if the boss was a mage, they would drop mage items. If the boss was a ranger, they would drop ranger items, things like that. And then once you defeat them, you complete the quest. So for all intents and purposes, the flow of the actual kind of dungeon is pretty much the same as the flow of a mission. You go somewhere, you activate the quest by being in the location, you defeat the boss, you complete the quest. The only main difference is the fact that dungeons are obviously in kind of trap-filled locations that you need to sort of navigate through, whereas typically missions, there'll just be a boss out in the middle of nowhere. He might be on top of a mountain, up a tree or something, but you don't normally have to kind of navigate traps and doors and pathways and things. So that's basically the kind of the defining difference between them. But other than that, there's not really a great deal to go with. Just general tips are obviously if you're working your way through a dungeon, make sure you're stocked up on potions because some of the bosses are quite strong. And also make sure you don't take too long, because if you get, for example, if you start dying a lot and you keep respawning and you keep running back through, after a while the enemies in the dungeons do respawn. So if you're in the dungeon for a long time, you might find that when you die and try and go back the next time, the enemies you previously killed have since respawned. So that's the main thing you want to sort of bear in mind, but other than that, it's pretty much the same as missions. So again, hopefully this has been helpful, hopefully this has answered your questions and cleared up some sort of confusion. But obviously if you do have any questions, drop a comment down below and I will do my best to answer them. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and share this video, it does really help me out. Obviously don't forget to subscribe. Also don't forget to check out the Twitter, Facebook page and the Arekkz Gaming website for all your gaming news throughout the week. But otherwise, thanks for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.